guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you another book review. So today's book review is called A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult. I mentioned my last book review was also a Jodi Picoult book. She is, I would say, like one of those authors who's a bit of a household name. Like, she has written a ton of books and I really enjoy her as an author. The genre of this book, well, it's definitely a fiction novel. And then, you know, some of these genres are really hard to describe. I would say that this is a bit of a thriller in a socially and politically controversial way. My overall rating of this book, I'm kind of between giving it an A and an A minus. I'm still kind of getting my footing with exactly, you know, because when you're reading books, you are comparing apples to oranges. Like, they're not all the same, so it's hard to grade them all totally equally. I think I'm gonna give this an A, which is that it's a great book. I definitely recommend it. It just doesn't meet the really high bar that is A+, because those are kind of like favorite books of all time, basically. So yes, great book. Now, a little bit of information about the plot. I do keep these spoiler free, but I am kind of expanding on the plot. So if you're the type who wants to know nothing about a book at all except that it's good, turn off the camera and go read the book. But if you want to know a little bit without getting it spoiled, listen up. This is the story of an abortion clinic in a very conservative town in, I think it's Georgia. It's somewhere in the South. It is the only abortion clinic for like many miles. Maybe it's in Missouri. I don't know. It's somewhere down there. And there is a hostage shooter holding people hostage at the abortion clinic. That's basically what this story is about. Now, let me give you some information on the writing style and the chapter length, etc. One thing that I think is very interesting, I don't think I've ever read a book with this writing style. So it is written in reverse order. So the very first chapter is 5 p.m. and then you go through and there's different sections, yada, yada, yada. And then the next section is 4 p.m., 3 p.m., 2 p.m. and it's going backwards. So it starts out with this really intense moment where there is a guy who, I don't know the proper terminology, but he's like a police officer, he's in law enforcement, and he is the hostage negotiator, and he's working with the hostage, and he reveals that his daughter is inside, and he has all these thoughts swirling, and then he makes this deal with the shooter. The shooter's name is George. And then he like they come face to face because I don't even know his name. The guy, the officer is going to switch places with his daughter so that she can be free, da 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 da. He opens the door and then he shoots. And that's how it starts. So that's not even a spoiler because that's literally how it starts. Now, throughout each time, like the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, like the backwards 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, there are little indents. Like, I'll show you kind of like little indents like that, where it is told through many different characters' perspectives, from the officer, from the daughter, from the shooter, from all the different people who are also inside being held hostage, from another random character that you don't really know who she is. Like, there's different characters' perspectives being told at all points. So even though the chapters, like the times, are somewhat long, they are broken up by different jumping like dialogues and thought processes. So it's very, very interesting. It's very gripping. You know, it's definitely something where it kind of keeps you like, you're trying to kind of figure out like, how does this all tie together and what's gonna happen? I mean, inside, let's see, there is one of the characters on the inside is a girl who just had an abortion. One of the characters on the inside is a girl who is like an anti-abortion, like a pro-life activist, and she happened to be in the abortion clinic that day to be like undercover and to get information about it all, and she's now held hostage. One of the characters was the little girl, the main character, the guy's daughter's aunt, who took her to this abortion clinic, and you kind of learn about why they're there. Then there's like an older woman and you figure out why she's there. Like, everyone's there for different reasons, and that is kind of the premise there. At the very end, let's see. At the very end, there's an epilogue where it actually goes forward. So it started out as being 5 p.m. Yeah, and then it goes backwards. But then at the very end, you jump forward to 6 p.m. I loved the way this tied up. I loved the way this book ended. It was extremely enjoyable throughout. It was captivating. It was shocking. I think, again, like, I'm sensing this is what a lot of Jodi Picoult's books do, is that they have like a real social, like, whoa, where you just really are caused to think about like your personal stance on things and like all of that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so I enjoyed the ending. That's another thing I think I need to end or add to my book reviews, because sometimes I will totally like love a book so much, but then the ending either solidifies it for me that it's like an amazing epic book, or that it's just kind of eh. This had a really good ending, in my opinion. Kind of juicy to the last drop. Now, who is my favorite character? Oh, you know what? I think my favorite character is the abortion doctor. The one who's in the clinic. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. I think his name is Willie. No, I think his name is Louis, not Willie. Louis. But the abortion doctor. He is just... You hear his story, you hear about like why he is an abortion doctor. Oh, and another important thing to know about the shooter and like the reason he's in there. So it's in this very conservative town where there are protesters every single day outside of this clinic. There are these extremely conservative, pro-life people who are just like, I mean, you know, they just really strongly, fiercely believe what they believe. And the shooter, I think his name is George, he is definitely a person like that who's very extreme in his beliefs. And he has a daughter as well. And you kind of like, again, there's so many pieces that just tie together in a beautiful little bow at the end. I don't know if beautiful is the word, but it ties together in a bow at the end where you're like, whoa, that's a crazy looking bow, but whoa, it does tie up. But yeah, so Louis, he is just a sweet heart, sweet peach. I love hearing about his background. He's great. He's my favorite character. Are there any standout quotes? I don't think I had any quotes on this one. I don't believe I did. No real standout quotes, but it's just well written overall. And then the last thing is, would this make a good movie or TV show? As I've mentioned before, I mean, it's like, to me, any book I've ever read, I would be excited if I saw a movie trailer. I'd be like, oh wow, I read that, I want to see that. But the question is like, do I think they should make it into a movie or not? I don't think let's see. I don't think as of now that there are plans for this to be turned into a film adaptation of sorts. I do think that this would make a very good movie or show or miniseries. Probably more of a miniseries, because there are so many different characters and so many different perspectives. I think that could be really interesting to, you know, have a miniseries that is able to really focus on each character and each piece of the puzzle. I don't think like a full-blown like show. I mean, I feel like everything these days is like a miniseries, but anyway, I do think that would be really cool. Yeah, I would love for them to do that. I don't know that they will. I feel like there's still other things that I would prefer over that. Like, there are other books I would root for even more to be turned into movies or series, but this would be awesome. As for what characters I could see playing, ooh, I see someone, I don't know who, but I see someone like William H. Macy, or like, that's really random, but playing the dad, like the police officer. Who do I see playing like the girl? I don't know. I could see like Dove Cameron, or Haley Steinfeld's probably a little too old. Oh, Haley Steinfeld would probably be good for one of the other girls at the clinic. Not that she's old by any means, but the daughter is like very young. I think she's like 13. I know those are such random like casting calls. Oh, who could play the shooter? Somebody fierce and scary. I don't know. I clearly haven't put enough thought into that, but I do think it would make a great miniseries. So I'm going to sign off for here. Please let me know if you've read that. Please let me know if you want to read it. Let me know if you've read any other books by Jodi Picoult and what you recommend, because I really like her and I want to read more of her stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Love you. Bye.